Understanding why the deep state is terrified of Trump's documents. I've said it from the very beginning, since the raid, that Trump has the proof, he has the dirt that all these agencies was conspiring against him, spying on him, and trying to set him up. That's what they were actually going after. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. All right, and let's talk about this news. Let me start by suggesting you read the excellent comprehensive analysis by Sundance at the Conservative Treehouse. I can sum up the Trump documents very succinctly. The documents show that there was a coordinated effort by the CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ, started in the summer of 2015 to interfere in the 2016 election. Part of this effort involved using NSA-produced intelligence. Oliver Stone's movie Snowden has a scene that accurately describes what the NSA was collecting and how it could be used. Great scene. When the conspiracy started in the summer of 2015 to interfere in the 2016 election on behalf of Hillary Clinton by the leadership of the CIA, the FBI, and the DOJ, Donald Trump was not the only target. Few believe at the time that Trump had a snowball's chance in the raging inferno of hell to win the nomination, much less the presidency. There were active searches for compromising intel on all of the leading Republican candidates, including Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, and on Bernie Sanders. The CIA, with the knowledge of the Director of National Intelligence, worked with British counterparts, started in the summer of 2015 to collect intelligence on Republican and at least one Democrat candidate. John Brennan was probably hoping that his proactive steps to help the Hillary Clinton campaign would ensure him taking over as DNI in the new Clinton administration. Regardless of motives, the CIA enlisted the British intelligence community to start gathering intelligence on most major Republican candidates and on Bernie Sanders. This initial phase of intelligence gathering goes beyond opposition research. The information being gathered identified the key personnel in each campaign and identified the people outside of the United States receiving their calls, texts, and emails. This information was turned into intelligence reports that then were passed back to the United States intel community as liaison reporting. This was not put into normal classified channels. This intelligence was put into a SAP, i.e., special access program. Now, this is because you have agencies like the CIA. They're not allowed to spy on U.S. citizens, so they farm it out to other intelligence communities like in Great Britain, and have them spy on us, and then they relay that information. This initial phase of intelligence collection produced a great volume of intelligence that allowed analysis to identify key personnel and the people they were communicating with overseas. You don't have to access to intelligence information to you don't have to have access to intelligence information to understand this. Let me give you one example of how intelligence intercepts were used to target specific individuals. Ask yourself, how did George Papadopoulos get on the radar? Papadopoulos was living in London and communicating with Corey Lewandowski, Trump's campaign manager at the time. Those communications were intercepted by the UK's GCHQ and passed through liaison channels to the NSA. That information was used in turn by the CIA and the FBI, working with British intelligence to ensnare Papadopoulos. He was offered a job, for example, at a firm tied to British intelligence and subsequently introduced to Joseph Misford. I'm confident that some of the documents Trump has showed that show that George Papadopoulos was identified as a possible target by the fall of 2015. Initially, this name was masked, but we now know that many people on the Trump campaign had their names unmasked. You cannot unmask someone unless their name is in an intelligence report. Here's another example. We also know that Felix Sater, a longtime business associate of Donald Trump and FBI informant since December 1998, he was signed up by Andrew Weissmann, initiated the proposal to do a Trump Tower in Moscow. Don't take my word for it. That's what Robert Mueller reported. And he reported that in the late summer of 2015, the Trump Organization received a new inquiry about pursuing a Trump Tower project in Moscow. In approximately September 2015, Felix Sater contacted Cohen, i.e. Michael Cohen, on behalf of IC Expert Investment Company, a Russian real estate development corporation controlled by Andrei Vladimirovich Rozov. Sorry, I'm killing these names. Sater had known Rozov since approximately 2007, and in 2014 had served as an agent on behalf of Rozov during Rozov's purchase of a building in New York City. Sater later contacted Rozov and proposed that IC Expert pursue a Trump Tower Moscow project in which IC Expert would license the name and brand from the Trump Organization, but construct the building on its own. Sater worked on a deal with Rozov and another employee of IC Expert. And this is, of course, that was Sater's communication with Rozov were intercepted by Western Intelligence Agency. That's the GCHQ and NSA. I don't know which agency put it into an intel report, but it was put into the system. The Sater FD 1023 will tell us whether or not Sater did this at the direction of the FBI or acted on his own initiative. The key point is that the bait to do something with the Russians came from a registered FBI informant. So this all started with them. And by December of 2015, the Hillary campaign decided to use the Russian angle on Donald Trump. Thanks to WikiLeaks, we have the campaign manager John Podesta's email exchange in December 2015 with Democratic operative Brent Budowski. Quote, "That's good. Sooner it's clarified, the better, and the stronger, the better," Budowski replied. Later added, "Best approach is to slaughter Donald for his bromance with Putin, but not to go too far betting on Putin or Syria. By late December, the intelligence law enforcement operation targeted Donald Trump as it became clear that he was likely to win the Republican nomination. I believe Donald Trump is holding the pun intended Trump cards that irrefutably show that the CIA, the FBI, and the DOD were communicating in top secret channels about these activities, and that the coordination also include foreign intelligence personnel in at least the UK and Australia. So I hope this helps you understand the desperation of the U.S. National Security Agency to keep this stuff hidden. The revelations, if they come, will be devastating. It'll point to them and show how corrupt they really are, and why we need to disband these organizations, because they are not really for the American people. They are for the deep state themselves. They protect themselves, and it's really the Uniparty. There's a lot of leftists in there, but it's really the Uniparty, because there's some Republicans that's part of the deep state as well. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.